character, knowledge, confidence. SRK Higher Secondary School, Karikalambakkam.
I love my school, it's okay. Best of the best is okay. Bright future means it's okay. Quality education, it's okay. Knowledge forever, love forever. It's a friend to see for sure. Lovely teachers and for wisdom. What's the culture we will start? I love my school, it's okay. Best of the best is okay. Bright future means it's okay. Quality education, it's okay.
Admission is going on from pre-KG to 12th standard. Group A1A, Maths, Physics, Chemistry, Biology. Group A1B, Physics, Chemistry, Computer Science and Biology. Group A2, Maths, Physics, Chemistry and Computer Science. Group A3, Accountancy, Economics, Commerce and Computer Application. SRK Higher Secondary School, 45/7, Dilliyanur Main Road, Karikalambakkam, Puducherry 7.
Hi my dear students, good evening. Welcome to visual class. Now we are going to see the grammar. Already we have seen the revision of unit 1 and 2 and also I have given the question pattern. Now we will see the grammar. Let's start, okay? Now we will see the compound words. Refer page 6, okay? What is a compound word? When two or more words join together to give a new meaning, it's called a compound word, okay ma? When two or more words join together to give a new meaning, it's called a compound word. For example, sun plus flower. Sun is actually an object and flower is also object. So sun plus flower is equal to sunflower. Next, sea plus horse is equal to seahorse. So like this, the two, when two or more words join together to give a new meaning is called a compound words. And for example, again, toll plus gate will be a toll gate. Eye plus lashes is equal to eyelashes. So you can refer page number 6. This will be asked in a paragraph. Paragraph will be given and some compound words will be given. According to that, some compound words will be given. According to the sentence, you have to fill the compound words or else it will be given in the match. For example, toll, here something will be given like gate, eye, lashes. So you have to match and write toll gate, eyelashes. Like this you have to match and write. If you refer page 6, you will be coming to a conclusion. I think you would have understood the compound words. Now we will go to the prefixes, okay? Prefixes, refer page 7. What is prefixes actually? A syllable or a word part added to the beginning. Added to the beginning of a word is called a prefix. Added to the beginning of a word is called a prefix, okay? For example, connect. Connect is a word. Prefix here is disconnect. D-I-S, disconnect. For example, happy. Happy is a word. Prefix, unhappy. So, balance. For prefix will be imbalance. Correct. Incorrect will be the prefix. So, a syllable or a word part added to the beginning of a word is called prefix. Wherever we are adding the prefix in front of the word is called a prefix. Prefix can change the meaning of a word. For example, happy. Happy means we are already happy. If we change the word, if we add prefix means it will be unhappy. So actually we are changing the meaning here. Is it clear? Next, suffixes. Refer page 7. A syllable or a word part added to the end of a word. Added to the end of a word is called a suffix. In prefix we are adding in the beginning. In suffixes we are adding at the end of a word is called suffix. For example, teach. Suffixes. For example, teach. We are adding here er. So it is called as suffix. Teach, teacher. Play, playful. We are adding here ful. So playful. Suffix changes the meaning of a word. Suffix has a meaning, and here also suffix has a meaning. We are changing the suffix in the end of the word. We are adding the suffix in the end of the word. For example, peace plus full, peaceful. So peace alone will be in the word and we are adding ful, full, peaceful. Suffix will be peaceful. Pain plus less, painless. Able. So these are the words for example. So I think you are clear with suffixes and prefixes. Okay. Now homophones. Homophones and confusables. Refer page 7. Many words in English sound the same. Okay. Many words when we are talking in English we will be having the same sound. Homophones are words with different spellings but with the same sound. What it will be in homophones? Will be having the different spellings. Will be having the different spellings but the sound will be same. Will be having the different spellings but the sound will be same, and also they will be having different meanings. Okay ma, spelling will be different, sound will be same but meanings will be different. This is called as homophones of confusables. For example, break, B-R-E-A-K, break, B-R. Example, break, break. See, see. Sell, sell. So the pronunciation is same here but the spellings are different and also the meanings will be different here. Sell means it will be denoting the blood cells. Sell means we are selling the things. See, see means at seashore. See means seeing, the visualization. Break, break means break up. Break means catch and break. So these are the examples. We will be having the same pronunciation, different meaning and different spelling is called as homophones or confusables. Is it clear? Next we come to determiners. Determiners, refer pages 10 and 11. A determiners comes at the beginning of a nouns. Where it comes? At the beginning of a nouns phrase to point out the noun. A determiner tells us whether the noun phrase is a specific or general. What the determiner is coming to say? It is saying that nouns will be at the noun at the a determiner comes at the beginning of a noun phrase to point out the noun. To point out the noun, it is coming at the beginning of a noun phrase. Okay. For example, my sister is a doctor. Here, which is the determiners? My and a is a determiners. We can say sister is doctor, but that's not correct. When we are adding determiners, we used to say my sister is a doctor. So my and a will be a determiners here. So this will be given in a paragraph and they will be asking to fill the blanks. So for that you can use the, my, you, his, has, her, its, as, their, whose, this, that, this. These are the words you can use for the determiners. According to the sentence you have to fill these words. Is it clear? Modal verbs. Now we are going to see modal verbs. Refer page 43. Okay. What is modal verbs? A modal verb is a type of helping verb. It is a type of helping verb that is used to express ability, possibility, permission or obligation. Whenever we are talking or when we are conversation or when we are writing, these are the examples we can use for ability, possibility, permission and obligation. What are the words we can use? For examples, for suppose we are asking for permission, what word we should use? We should use can. Can I go for next class? Next, suppose if you are asking for request or if you are asking for request means or advice, what you will say? Should I? When I am giving advising you, we have to use the word should. Suppose you should finish your homework, you should finish this lesson, you should listen to the class. So when we are advising, we can use the word should. Suppose if you are using obligation, for obligation what type of word we can use? Must. You must complete it, you must listen. So when we are obligation, the word should be must. Suppose if you are asking for permission or request, may I go home? May I drink water? May I write ma'am? So these are the words. When you are asking for permission and request, you can use the word may. Suppose you are asking for request. Would you please leave me? Would you send me out? So these are the words. When you are asking for request, you can use the word would. When you are asking for suggestion, shall I drink water? Shall we go home? Shall we go to picnic? So these are the suggestions. When we are having the suggestions, you can use the word shall. So these are the words you can use. For example, can, should, must, may, would and shall. And see for what all the things we can use. For permission we can use can. For advice you can use should. For obligation must. For permission or request you can use may. For request you can use would. For suggestion shall. So this type of questions will be in the fill in the blanks type. So according to the sentence you can use the word where it is necessary. Is it clear? Next we'll go to preposition. Refer pages 44 and 45. What is a preposition? Preposition is a word that shows the relation between a nouns or a pronouns. What it happens? Preposition shows the relation between noun and a pronoun and some other words in a sentence, and some other words in a sentence is called a preposition. For example, a preposition is placed before a noun or a pronoun. Preposition indicates the preposition of a place, time, direction. Where all the preposition is used? While using the place, time and direction. Now we will see the example. For example, when we are using in place, Nikita is studying against a wall. Nikita is studying against a wall. So here we are using the place. We are using the place here. Nikita is studying against a wall. So when we are using the wall, we should use against. Where she is studying against a wall. So this will be a preposition. Now when you are seeing the time, exam postponed dash Saturday. When is the exam postponed? Exam postponed on Saturday. So this will be the preposition. When we are using for direction, someone or something comes or goes, it will be saying about someone or something. For direction, it will be saying about someone or something. So he is throwing ball at them. We are saying about someone or something. That is called, here in this sentence we are using about a person and a thing. So he is throwing ball at them. So at will be the prepositions here. Is it clear? For example, a fan hanging on the ceiling. A fan is hanging on the ceiling. So on will be the preposition. A cat under the table. A cat is under the table. So under will be the preposition. What are the preposition words? In, on, at, before, after, under, above. So according to the given sentence, you have to fill these words. And about this, still more words are there. For now this is enough, I think. So in, on, at, before, after, under, above. So these are the words you can use in the preposition, and read the sentence given and fill the words according to the sentence. Now we will see about singular and plural and proverb. These are the question pattern which is not in your book. I think you would have studied in the 9th, 10th classes. So from that I have asked singular, proverb, and rearrange the words and phrases to make a meaningful sentence. Okay, so go through singular, proverb and rearrange the words and phrases to make a meaningful sentences. Okay ma. Now we'll go to alliteration. What is alliteration? Where the alliteration will come from? Alliteration means when the same sound is repeated at the beginning of a group, in a group of a word, it's called a alliteration. When the same word is repeated at the beginning in a group of a word, it is called as alliteration. For example, the beginning of a word will be same and it will be repeated, so that is called as alliteration. Okay, for example, the sun shine in the morning. What is alliteration here? Yes. So while you are writing the answer, you have to write sun shine here. You have to write like this and underline the yes. Is it clear? So this will be the alliteration. Now carrots and cartoon can be carried in crazy cars. So what all alliteration here? Carrots and cartoon can be carried in crazy cars. Now you can see ca, ka, again ka, again ka, again ka, ka. So how many alliterations are here? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6. Sorry, 5 is there. Okay ma'am. So carrots, cartoon, can, carry, car. So when you are writing the answer, you have to take separately the words. See, carrots, cartoon, can, carry, cars. You have to write like this and underline the ca. Like this you have to underline and show the answer. Okay. There will be no thrice. Where is the alliteration here? There. Th, the, and here in thrice, th. So there will be no thrice. This will be the alliteration here. So th and th. But you have to write the word and underline the alliteration. Is it clear? When the same sound is repeated at the beginning, in a group of word, it's called a alliteration. Okay ma. Next, what is rhyming words? You have seen many rhymes. Okay, in the rhyming words, two or more words with the same or similar ending sound, with the same or similar ending with the same sound. For example, brother, mother, beer, wear, Okay, these are the examples. See, brother, sound is coming. Mother, sound is coming. Beer, ear sound. Wear, air sound. Okay, like that I'll show you some examples. Can, man, and sound is ending, isn't it? Van, pan, and. Rock, ox sound. Ox, shock, again ox sound. Cake, fake, egg. These are the sounds. Beer, tear, air sound. Okay, so these are called as rhyming words. So rhyming words are two or more words with the same or similar ending is called a rhyming word. So these are the examples. This will be asked in a question and so one paragraph will be given. According to that, pick the rhyming words. Read the passage and pick the rhyming words. Means you have to write the rhyming words. Suppose beer means beer. You have to write like this. Don't write in the horizontal, write in the vertical shape. Is it clear? Now we will see figure of speech. In rhymes we have seen alliteration, rhyming words, and now we are going to see the figure of speech. In figure of speech there are many things, but we will see now only 4. Okay, what are they? Simile, metaphor, personification, and apostrophe. Now we are going to see only about this 4. Next class I will teach you the other things. Okay ma? What is simile? Simile, we are comparing with one person and other thing. We are comparing between one thing and the other thing is called as simile. For example, she is as busy as B. We are comparing one girl with one B. So this will be a simile. When we are reading the paragraph, we can see it will be comparing. She is as busy as B. We are comparing one girl with one B. So here we are adding AS. Is it clear? Comparing the thing with other thing is called as simile. As soft as butter, we are comparing the butter with soft. As again, he fought like a lion in a battle. We are comparing a person with a lion here. We are comparing a person with a lion. So this will be a simile. For example, easy clue I will give you. When you are reading the sentence, if as, like, if this as and like comes, you can just close your eyes and write it is a simile. You can underline that word and mention here simile. Is it clear? When a paragraph is given, when you see the word in the sentence as or a like, you can easily understand those two words and you can write here simile. Is it clear? I hope you understood the simile. Next we will see metaphor. What is metaphor? Again, metaphor is a implied simile. Again we are comparing here. I will say what is that. For example, Sheila is not a giraffe. Again we are comparing a girl with giraffe. But what we are saying is not. We are not using her as or like. We are not using her as and like. We are not using her as and like. It is equal to simile but implied simile. Okay ma? So we are comparing girl with a giraffe. Sheila is not a giraffe. She was a lion in the battle. We are comparing a girl with the lion again here. She was a lion in the battle. So you can see the difference. He fought like a lion in the battle. Like we are using here. Here we are using she was a lion in the battle. She is a busy bee. Here we are using what? She is a busy bee. But we are here in simile we are using she is as busy as bee. We are using here the word as. But here we are saying she is a busy bee. But we are comparing but we are not saying as a word. She is a busy bee. Okay. So these are called as metaphor. Whenever you are seeing the comparison between one thing and other person is called a metaphor. When you are comparing with one person and other thing, when they are using like and as, if it comes it is a simile. Just if they are comparing means it is a metaphor. Is it clear? Now we will come for personification. What is the personification? Giving the life to abstract things. Already personification means giving life to abstract things. Already abstract things will not have life, but we are giving life to it. That is called as personification. For example, the sun smiled at us with open arms. Will the sun smile at us? No, but we are giving life to the sun, that he is smiling at us. The sun is already an object, but it is not a living object. It is just a abstract things. Okay, but how we are imagining, like we are giving a life to that. We are giving a life to the sun. Sun is smiling at me with his open arms. So we are explaining with the open arms. We are saying that sun is smiling. So we are giving the life to son. So that is called as personification. Next, opportunity knocks at the door. Only person can come and knocks the door. Person means here lives is there. So person can come and knock the door. But who is coming and knocking the door here? Opportunity. Opportunity will never come and knocks the door. But we are giving life to the word opportunity. Opportunity knocks at the door. When opportunity knocks at the door, we are giving again life to the abstract things. When we are giving life to abstract things, that will be called as personification. Is it clear? Next, apostrophe. Apostrophe means wherever you can just close your eyes and write apostrophe when you see the exclamatory in the sentence. Wherever you are reading the sentence, if you see exclamatory mark, that will be a apostrophe. In the poem, if you see the apostrophe mark, it will in the poem, if you see the exclamatory mark, that will be mentioned as apostrophe. For example, oh wind, if winter is so chill. Oh God, I wish you were now. Never God will come, okay? Wow, a lovely climate. Whenever you say the exclamatory mark, that will be mentioned as apostrophe. I think you are clear with simile, metaphor, personification and apostrophe. Again I will teach you. Simile means simple. Wherever in the sentence it has been used as or like, it will be mentioned as simile. In the sentence, if you see as and like, it will be mentioned as simile. In metaphor, if you are comparing one person with other thing, that will be a metaphor. In personification, giving life to abstract things is called as personification. In apostrophe, when we are seeing the exclamatory in the sentence, it will be called as apostrophe. Is it clear? Figure of speech. This is called as hints developing. Many of my children, what you are doing now, see, this is the paragraph will be given in the question paper. Two kings ruled dash neighbor, kingdoms, King Arya, dash great warrior, dash looked after, dash subjects, dash very well, dash people loved him, dash looking, dash their safety and welfare, dash all of his subjects, dash very happy. And healthy life, dash king Vaishal on the other hand, dash very lazy man, dash spend his time, dash entertaining. Dancing, dash ignoring, dash needs or development, dash people, dash his people, dash angry, dash never came out of the place, dash listen to their vows. What we will see, what all my children are doing the same mistakes. As the dash is very, very small, what you used to do is, you used to write A. You used to write A, you used to write the, you used to write on, because the blanks is not bigger. So the blank is very small. So you used to write A, what is able to fill in that blank, so that you will be filling. But it is totally wrong. That is not the correct way. You should not fill the blanks. I will say how to write, okay? You should not fill the blanks. As the line is very small, you should not write A and the, for, is, was, nothing should be added like that. So that will be totally wrong. No marks will be given. This is the question pattern. I will say you how to write the hints developing. Is it clear? You should not fill the blanks. You should not fill the blanks like using is, that was, etc. Just I will teach you how to do. Develop the phrases into full sentence and not merely filling up the dashes. What you should do? You should develop the phrases and you should not fill up the dashes. This is very, very important. You should not fill up the dashes. I will say what to do. Read the passage twice or thrice. Whatever paragraph is given, you have to read twice or thrice till you understand that paragraph. Is it clear? Next, understand the passage well. Read the passage twice, thrice or 4 times also you can read. After that you will be coming to a conclusion. What is that paragraph said about? What is the paragraph said about, so that you can understand the passage well. Next, what you have to do is, if the passage is in present tense, you have to write the story in the past tense. If the passage is in present tense, you have to write the story in the past tense. Be very clear about it. When the question is being in present tense, you have to write the story in the past tense. Okay, ma? Next, arrange the matter into 2 or 3 passages. What you have to do? You have to write the passages into 2 or 3 paragraphs. According to the story, you can use 2 or 3 paragraphs. Okay. Next, you have to give a suitable title. According to the paragraph, you can give the title. You have to give a title and then start writing. Okay. You have to give a suitable title and then start writing with paragraphs. Next, write the moral at the end of the story. So you have to write the moral at the end of the story. First, what you will be doing? You will be reading the paragraph. Next, you will be understanding the passage. Then if the story is in the present tense, you have to write the story in the past tense. Then you have to give the suitable title for the story. You have to give the suitable title for the story. Then the story should be in 2 or 3 passages according to the story. Then at the last you have to give the moral of the story. You have to write your moral of the story, and you can give one title. Okay ma'am, is it clear? This is the way of writing hints developing. This is the way of writing hints developing, not just filling the dashes. Is it clear? Now we are going to see about pie chart. What is pie chart? Pie chart is also called as a circle graph. Pie chart will be also called as a circle graph. Observe the picture chart and answer the questions. You have to observe the questions. You have to observe the picture. You have to observe the picture chart and answer the questions. Circle is divided into smaller parts called segment. The circle will be given, for example, the circle will be given like this and it will be divided like this. The circle will be given and it will be divided like this. For example, population here fruits, here percentages, here rain, like this questions will be given. Okay, so this is called as a pie chart or a circle graph. This will be called as a pie chart or a circle graph. According to this, the pictures will be given and it has been divided into segment. Okay, it has been divided into segment. From this questions will be asked, what is the population of this country? What is the rain centimeter? So like this questions will be asked from the pie chart. You should read the pie chart properly and you have to answer the questions. Is it clear? This is called as pie chart. In suppose the advertisement be asked like for application for the postgraduate English teacher, this will be the question for you. In pre-quarterly we have asked, no, that was written mostly wrong, so I will teach you how to write. Okay, application letter, you have to mention the heading application letter. Here you have to write your name and the date. Don't mention here why, write your date, sorry, my name and the date here. Okay, next from means your name and your address to the person who it has been given in the Hindu advertisement, is it? So you have to give the post box, care of Hindu, Chennai. So these are the things first you have to do. Next, what you have to do is, dear sir, you have to write the sub means application for the post of postgraduate English teacher. For what post you are applying for, so that will be the subject here. So what post you are applying for will be the subject. Reference your advertisement in the Hindu on 5th March. How do you come to know? By seeing the advertisement in the Hindu paper, isn't it? So first you are writing dear sir, next sub, then reference. Sub will be the what qualification you have done, was graduate they are asking for. Next will be where you saw the advertisement. I saw the advertisement on the Hindu on dash date, what all the date. So this will be the thing. Next you will write the body of the thing. With reference to your advertisement in the Hindu on the 5th March, I wish to apply for the post of postgraduate English teacher in your esteemed institution. I am glad to inform you that I am qualified, talented and experienced to discharge my duty as a postgraduate English teacher perfectly. I have enclosed my resume for I am optimistic of meeting a positive reply. I assure you for the reputation of your institution. I request you to grant me a chance to evince my eagerness to work for your institution by inviting me to appear for the interview. This is the thing you have to write and say here, thanking you, yours faithfully, your name, and in this you have to add your curriculum. Okay, you have to add your curriculum. It can be said as resume or curriculum vitae. Okay ma'am. So what are the things you have to mention here? Name, father's name, sex, date of birth, nationality, religion, educational qualification, professional qualification, additional qualification, languages known, address, email ID, mobile number, experiences, then extracurricular activities if any, then the expected salary. This is the way of writing the curriculum vitae or resume. These all the things should be mentioned there. And one of my students, what the wrong you have done is, you have mentioned here, actually they have asked for a MA English teacher, but you have mentioned here MSc nursing and you have applied for a English teacher. It's not possible to apply like that. Okay, what is the qualification? According to the qualification only you have to send the resume. If it is a qualification of MA English, you can send only for the school. If it is a MSc nursing, it is applicable only for the staff nursing in the hospital. It is totally wrong. MBBS and MSc optometrists can't come and work in a school as a MA English teacher. Is it clear? Next, what you have to do is, after finishing all this, next you have to write you have attached the resume. Okay, and then declaration. I hereby means I hereby declare that the information which I have furnished is true to the best of my knowledge. What you are saying, what all the things I have applied is true. So your signature there, and by the side you have to write the address on the cover. What is that? Post box number, care of Hindu, Chennai. So this is the way of writing the advertisement. What you have done in pre-quarterly is totally wrong. So kindly go through it. Is it clear? I hope you all understood the grammar, hints developing, pie chart. I hope you all understood the grammar, pie chart, hints developing and the advertisement. Just go through the books and go through the classes what all I have taught. Just prepare well. Your paper presentation should be very, very neat and clear. Everyone bring ball pen without failing. Then do your exam well. I hope you all will get above 86. All the best. Do well. Have a nice day. Bye.
Character, knowledge, confidence. SRK Higher Secondary School, Karikalambakkam.
I love my school, it's okay. Best of the best is okay. Bright future means it's okay. Quality education, it's okay. Knowledge forever, love forever. It's for friends to see for sure. Lovely teachers and for wisdom. What's the culture we will start? I love my school, it's okay. Best of the best is okay. Bright future means it's okay. Quality education, it's okay.
Admission is going on from pre-KG to 12th standard. Group A1A, Maths, Physics, Chemistry, Biology. Group A1B, Physics, Chemistry, Computer Science and Biology. Group A2, Maths, Physics, Chemistry and Computer Science. Group A3, Accountancy, Economics, Commerce and Computer Application. SRK Higher Secondary School, 45/7, Dillianur Main Road, Karikalambakkam, Puducherry 7.